Morning, guys. I hope everybody's doing well, and we will jump into our book shortly. For anybody who is, wondering, we are doing 6:30 tomorrow. We will be having our coffee time, but I am drinking some coffee today, for sure. Um, let's see. I gotta share my book with you guys. Present, share screen. Give me that candle. All right, here we are. I don't remember exactly where we left off, but I think I bookmarked it. So let me look through it real quick. Definitely not in chapter 4. Oh, yeah, we probably are in chapter 3, the window of opportunity. We'll start here. If anybody sees that we are not in the right spot, let me know. Uh, all right, so let me put it on a different kind of screen. I don't even think you guys need to even see me. Just need to see the book. All right, so the window opportunity. The window opportunity has more to do with your perspective on money and how it is made than anything else. Let me illustrate for you. On the following pages, you will see an intersection in the center of this intersection, the dollar sign. So I think that we read that already. Did we read that? Because I read the book a couple of times, so I could be mistaken. Let's read it again, just because I have a little spot on her. Um, yeah, we did read this because the question was if everybody if everybody came to that stop, like how would they see it, right? And then once they do come to that stop, we started naming um, each window that they were kind of peering through. So they all come to the view at money, and then each one of them here is looking at money a certain way, right? And then we talked about the worst way to um, make money was having a job, right? And um, we'll go over those reasons because that's it's kind of a cool thing. Having a job is without question the worst legitimate way to make money. Unfortunately, for most people in this country, having a job is the only way they know how to make money. Of course, if you ask people how they like their job, they often say, "Well, you have to have a job. I've got to pay my bills." Having a job is the worst way to make money because you trade your time for money. So that was kind of the label for the having a job. The second reason is that having a job is the worst ways to make money is because you only have so much time. And another reason that having a job is the worst way to make money is because nobody is willing to pay you without what you're worth. So then the second worst way to make money is on the bottom right. So in our picture here, it's down here on the bottom right is the OAJ, so own a job. So most people think that they're going from having a job to having their own business, but what they're really doing is going from having a job to owning a job. So what owning a job means is they start a business which they are the only employees, which means that they are in high demand. Owning a job is better than having a job because you make more money, but it's worse than having a job because it usually means that you have less time. Another really bad thing about having a job or owning a job is that it's the most risky financial situation into which you can put yourself or your family. One of the best things you can do is to get to the point in your life where you can no longer, where you no longer, uh, where you are no longer looking at money through the lower window panes. So those two lower panes um, were what was detrimental. So if you're owning a job or that you have a job, right? So the best way to make money is So the two worst ways to make money are to have a job or own a job. Now we're going to look at money the way millionaires and billionaires make it. And so own a system is the OAS window. And so the word system stands for the save yourself time, energy, and money. The word system stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. You want to own a system, better yet, own some systems that pay you even when you're not working. Right? So they have to be business systems. It actually has everything to do with courage. You usually don't get paid until the system is built. So that's kind of the hard thing about that's why people don't usually start, right? First of all, what is 8 hours pay? I'm going to put in 8 hours work. I'd like to put in 8 hours of work for a lifetime of residual income. Residual income is the kind of income that keeps coming in long after you stop going out to get it. So that's an important concept if you think about the idea that you're going to go to work anyways. But when you go to work anyways, you have to actually go back to work again and back to work. Versus if I'm going to work this 40 hours this week, I want to put it towards something that means that it's going to create a system that I don't have to keep putting 40 hours into. Um, you want to establish a business system because that is what's going to give you freedom with your time and money. Um, there are different kinds of business systems. So there are people systems, there are business real estate systems, there are business technology systems, there are business license systems, and there are many different kinds of systems that you can own. When you are putting the system into place, you make little or no money, but after the system is in place, the money starts coming in so fast you can't even count it. So what you want to do is own a system or systems. Establishing a system requires time. It requires effort, it requires energy, it requires money, it requires patience because you don't generally start building a system one day and get paid the next. That's why most people don't do it. So one of the things that we're supposed to be doing based on the beginning of the book is thinking, figuring out the differences in thinking. And so he labels down here that they think if they do some work that doesn't generate income right away, the effort wasn't worth it. I'm going to tell you something right now. Nothing could be further from the truth. Building a business system is going to eventually give you time, freedom, and money freedom. It's going to give you more time at the end of the day, more time at the end of your week, and more time at the end of your month, more time at the end of the year. It will give you more time to fulfill your life purpose. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. A long time ago, that success and failure are both hard. The difference is that if you succeed in life, you get to enjoy the fruits of your difficulty. If you fail in life, you have no fruit from your difficulty. The second best way to make money is the SMS window. Is the SMS window is the second best way to make money, and the final way that we will discuss in this book as we look through the window of opportunity. SMS means sow money seeds. This is the this is investing in things like rock stocks, oil wells, gold mines, tax lien certificates, etc. This is where your money is making money for you. This is also where the richest people in the world live. This is where people like Warren Buffett hang out. These people understand how to their money make money for them. So here's the beautiful thing about sowing money seeds and planting your money is that since everything reproduces after its own kind, when you begin to plant money, it makes your wealth grow at faster and a faster rate. You may be thinking money doesn't grow on trees. You're right, but if money did grow on trees, it would grow on money trees. Where else would money grow? Now I'm speaking here figuratively. Money, if it is planted, invested, can grow more money. You must learn to plant your money in your investments long enough for it to reproduce. Remember, your money will never grow for you if all you do is use it for consumption. You must learn to use your money for production and reproduction. And that's such an interesting sentence is that you must learn to use your money for production and reproduction, right? Instead of us spending it on things that are going to be one-time value scenarios. Some cool pictures. This is probably where we left off because everything else was seeming so familiar, right? What kind of house do you live in? So now here's the financial house concept. And we could probably spend a little bit of time here. All right. So, chapter 4, what kind of house do you live in? Everyone lives in a house. Even homeless people live in a house. I'm not talking about the kind of house you are thinking of. I'm talking about your financial house. Just as there are different neighborhoods with different kinds of physical houses in them, there are different kinds of financial neighborhoods with different kinds of financial houses in them. On the following pages, I'm going to show you three different kinds of financial houses. I'm going to show you the financial house of the poor. I'm going to show you the financial house of the middle class. And then I'm going to show you the financial house of the rich. After you see these different kinds of financial houses, you can decide which kind of house you desire to live in. Now that you understand the four ways to make money, let's look at the what people do with money after they get it. The biggest difference between the rich, the poor, and the middle class is not how much money they make, but what they do with money after they make it. To look at how we spend, save, invest, and use our money, we are going to learn how to build a strong financial house. If your financial house is strong, then it will be able to weather any financial storm that comes along. Now let's look at the significance of the picture of a financial house. This principle has made me a fortune that is growing faster and faster every month and every year. I want you to have the same experience, and you will if you will allow yourself to accept, test, and follow the principles in this chapter. Every house must be built on a foundation. This foundation is called the foundation of truth. The roof on the house is called asset protection. The upper left window is the income window. The bottom left window is what I call the WRL window, which stands for wealth reducing liabilities. And the bottom right hand window is called the outgo window. The upper right hand window is called the IPA window, or income producing asset window. Together, all these components build a financial house. Everyone lives in a financial house of some kind. There are three different kinds of financial houses to choose from. There's the financial house of the poor, there is the financial house of the middle class, and lastly, there is the financial house of the rich. People who live in the financial houses of the poor and the middle class don't realize that that is where they live. The poor and middle class think of their financial situation as just the way things are. Rich people are more aware of where they live financially because they live there by decision. People who build a strong financial house do so on purpose, and they consistently, persistently build their houses with good financial principles. Usually, the poor and middle class live their financial lives in a haphazard manner, hoping that everything will work out at the end. Let's look at the financial house of the poor. Most people get their income, the money that comes in to the financial house, from the job, also known um, as the journey of the broke. Whether you are rich, poor, middle class, it's is not determined by how much money you make at your job, but by the what you do with your money after you make it. We're going to see clearly here that rich people, poor people, and middle class people all do very different things with their money when they make it. Let's start out with people who are poor. The reason that poor people are poor is not because they make a little bit of money, but because every dime that comes into the income window goes down and out the outgo window. The main reason poor the people are poor is because they believe that the only real purpose of money is spending it. If you spend money, that means your money doesn't stay with you long enough to reproduce itself. It doesn't stay with you long enough to reproduce fruit. It doesn't stay with you long enough to have babies. I like the term pregnant money. You want money that has babies. When you have $100 bills, they have $100 babies. You want to make sure that when you have thousands of dollars, you hold on to them long enough and invest them wisely enough so that they have $1,000 babies. And when you have millions of dollars, they have $1 million babies. Do not be like poor people who spend every dime of every dollar. You spend you must understand that the main purpose of money is not spending. The main purpose of money is reproducing more money. Don't spend the seed money, invest the seed money, and then spend the fruit money. Art Art Williams, the founder of A.L. Williams Corporation, wrote a little book called Common Sense: A Simple Approach to Financial Independence. One of the principles that he revealed was that you should pay yourself first. Poor people themselves pay themselves last, if they pay themselves at all. Poor people spend all their money on taxes, rent, utilities, food, clothes, cable TV, etc. So every dime that comes into a poor person's hand in the income window goes out the outgo window of their financial house, and fast. The average person, the biggest window in their house is the outgo window. In fact, even the money they haven't made yet is already consumed by bills. That's the motto of the poor. The motto of the poor is, I gotta pay the bills. Obviously, there is nothing wrong with paying bills. It is something you definitely want to do. If that's your main focus, you need to change it. Whatever you focus on expands. So you don't want to focus on bills. You want to create such great business system that the bills are paid automatically. You don't want to have to think about it. Why is that poor? Why is it that poor people focus on outgo? Why is it that they focus on bills? I believe the emotional reason that they have this focus is because of fear of losing their jobs, fear of not being able to feed their families, and fear of not having what they need. Also, the fear causes poor people to focus on how to keep from not having rather than focusing on what to do to have as much as they want. Fear causes poor people to stay poor. All the money that comes into the income window comes down and goes out the outgo window. Taxes are the number one expense of poor people. Think about it. You're taxed when you earn money, you're taxed when you spent it, you're taxed on what you own. Now that you bought it, you're taxed when you sell it, and if you die, then they really they're really going to tax you. Go back and study the financial house of the poor. If you have any of the habits or tendencies of the poor, make sure that you break them and replace them with the principles that you are learning in this book. Remember the two sentence wealth formula. The second sentence is, find out what poor people do financially, make sure you don't do it. Now let's take a look at the financial house of the middle class. All right, we'll stop there. I hope you guys have a good week. We'll talk to you soon.